There's this great quote by Rebecca Solnit that says, "In uncertainty, there's room to act." And I love that because it's very true, because when things are certain, you pretty much have the boundaries defined for you. Somebody else has created the box, or something else has created the box, and you are limited by what you can actually do or what you can actually accomplish. And this is incredibly important for people, especially in today's day and age when things are changing so fast. And the fear of uncertainty, or the fear that you don't know exactly where you're going to be in the next year or the next 5 years, well, this has created a great deal of stress and anxiety for people of all walks of life. The reason why I say that you really need to embrace uncertainty is because it's true that that's where opportunity is. Because the rules haven't been set, the game hasn't been defined yet, there's still room to breathe, there's still room to act, and it's really the place where your imagination, your ideas, the story that you want to create can really become real. At the end of the day, that's where it is. Now, you're of course going to get pushback from this, because what hates uncertainty the most is not people, but it's status quo. It's box thinking. The reason why is because the status quo is designed to make us comfortable, to make us sedentary, to make us just complacent in a number of ways. And don't get me wrong, I like to be comfortable too. I'm not saying that we should constantly find ways to make ourselves uncomfortable, but what I am saying is that if we're serious about growing, if we're serious about being a participant rather than a victim of how the future unfolds, well, then we have to get very comfortable in uncertainty. And not everybody's wired this way. And that's okay. I'm not saying that everybody needs to be wired this way. In fact, if you think about people you know who recognize an uncertain situation and they seize that opportunity to take control of the situation, I'm sure everybody everybody knows somebody this way. I can think of my 8-year-old son, for an example. But you see this in organizations too, where if the boundaries are not created, if the game and the rules have not been set, if there's a great deal of uncertainty, somebody steps in to create that, to take advantage of that. And I don't always mean that for nefarious purposes, but they step in to take control because they want to keep moving forward. And that's what leadership actually is. So when I say not everybody needs to think this way, I say that because not everybody is designed to be a leader, and that's okay. I don't think enough people are told that they don't have to always be aiming to be a leader. Because if everybody was a leader, there would be no leaders. So for those that are leaders, it's incredibly important to be looking at uncertainty as the place where your real opportunity to drive and create the future, well, that's where it actually is. And that's what we need more of today. We have too many leaders that are acting like followers instead of leading, because they're pandering to the status quo, or they're waiting for somebody else to do it for them, or they're waiting for some sense of certainty when none actually exists. The only thing that is certain is that if you act, something will move. Now, whether it's the best decision you could possibly make, well, that's yet to be seen. But the fact is that we cannot be afraid of the things that are uncertain. We cannot be afraid of those things that are outside of our control. What we need to do is start thinking differently and start embracing these as opportunities rather than obstacles. At the end of the day, that is what is most important.